Okay, I have redid Geneseo Coffee Company to better incorporate it into the application projects that you'll be doing over the next couple of weeks. So the first screen you see here is the financial statements for the past 5 years, and they start from the oldest to the newest. And this is from a right to left, and we do that so that we can develop trends over time. So as you can see, there's cash, accounts receivable. There's no marketable there's a marketable securities at the end of December 17. Their property, plant, and equipment, total current liabilities, their long-term debt, and you can see their shareholders' equity. So when we look at the income statement, we can see that it's here. I've also put in the cash flow statement. So the first thing you always want to do is create a common-sized income statement. So the easiest way of doing that is to just copy, and hopefully it works, paste. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take plus divided by the same, express it as percent, and that's 100%. So then what you do, if you come in and you're going to make this fixed at C31, and you are just going to copy it down. And that way, we can see, we can put some lines in here. You always want to put lines in so that it's easily viewed. And wherever there are subtotals, you generally tend to put them. So we'll put them in like this. And as you can tell, we can see now, all you need to do is you copy from here to here. And that's 116. Why? Because I didn't change this to D. So I just go back in, change that to D. And I just keep going. Now we can bring the years over. And if we do I'm just going to put some lines in here. Now what we can see, and this is part of the analysis, even though the numbers are different, we can focus in on a number of things. And if you're looking, you can see right here that we're having a decline from we're seeing an increase in the gross margin. So we're becoming more profitable. So the question is, why is that? Is it scale? What is it that's driving that? We're seeing general administrative going up, but all across the board, we're seeing that. So that's how you create a common size income statement. Now, we can do the same thing if we want to create a graph, and we would just put in the graph, okay? And you got to determine which one is most meaningful for you. And I'm going to leave that for you to figure out. But let's take a real quick one here, and let's just put in a simple graph. So let's take a line graph, and I'll put in a line graph. Of course, you got to put it down here. And if you put it down, See, we can put it in and we can show the graph of sales. So we put in Geneseo. And we can go label these. So you're going to go back and you're going to label these. So what we're going to do is select data. And we're going to go to here where it says this. We're simply going to edit it. And we're going to go back and put this range in right here. And what you can see is we've now laid out the graph. So you can add in what is meaningful. So then we go on to working capital, and I have a formula here again that shows total gross working capital, which excludes marketable securities. Net working capital is just the difference between current assets and current liabilities. Net operating working capital is operating current assets less operating current liabilities. We then move on to the cash conversion cycle, and I computed it. I then created a graph to see it, and I showed it based on another graph here. We then move on to see the simple cash flow, simple method. But you can see here that there's a difference between simple free cash flow and free cash flow to equity. So we keep going. There's the financial ratios that we discussed. The current ratio, which remember is a quantity of liquidity. Cash conversion cycle I did on the separate worksheet, but I brought them together. That talks about the timing of liquidity. Then we take trade receivables to working capital, quality of liquidity. Accounts receivable conversion, quality. Receivable turnover, how many times does inventory receivables turn over? Inventory to working capital, inventory conversion. So we have all of the key categories we need. So that's the part of what you're working on this week. I encourage you to go through and review this and make sure you understand how it works and what I've done, because most of this will be in Project 2. Please let me know if you have any questions.